Ashna, just remind us who was up in front of the judge and what are the verdicts?
Well, we have just heard now from Court 7 here at the Old Bailey that 37-year-old Marcus Monzo has been found guilty of the murder of schoolboy Daniel Angerin on the 30th of April last year. He carried out a drug-fuelled, frenzied attack on multiple people, but including taking the lives of little Daniel, who was 14 years old and was walking to school. This was a decision that the jury had been pondering over since Friday afternoon, and they have now, in the last few moments, come to their decision, and those verdicts stand additionally on being found guilty of attempted murder of 4 other people and wounding with intent a police officer. Let's unfold the events that happened on the 30th of April last year. 37-year-old Monzo had woken up in northeast London and started to take a lot of cannabis. He'd been smoking cannabis that morning. Before leaving that day, before 6 a.m, he had skinned, killed and deboned his cat before leaving his home to unleash the most brutal campaign of violence. I want to remind viewers that the case itself that we're about to discuss is incredibly distressing. Some of the details are distressing. After doing so to his pet cat, who he called Wizard, he left his home driving his grey van. He proceeded to knock over a pedestrian, taking out of his van a couple of swords. We knew from learning throughout this court case that Monzo was fascinated with martial arts. He was a martial arts enthusiast, described by the prosecution. In going about this rampage, after injuring this member of the public, he then proceeded to follow Daniel Angerin, the 14-year-old, as I mentioned, been walking to school. He was on his way to start his day in school when Monzo ran up behind him and attacked him so ferociously that the prosecution said he almost decapitated the young boy with a sword that was some 60 centimetres in length. Police arrived. They tried to get the incident under control. Monzo refused to let them access Daniel, who had been on the ground by this point, witnessing the attack, were neighbours. The jury was showed multiple streams of CCTV footage, body-worn camera footage that showed the extent of the chaos that unfolded. After running away from officers, Monzo proceeded to enter a couple's house. He then proceeded to attack the couple that was still in bed with their young baby next door. He then proceeded to, once escaping that house, as police tried to corner him, he attacked another 2 officers. He described the attack afterwards, Monzo, to police as being like in a Hollywood film, The Hunger Games. He described the fact that he felt after taking and smoking this cannabis that he was experiencing a psychotic episode, almost schizophrenic in nature, which gave him an alternative personality. He said his alternative personality made him feel as though he was a professional assassin. The defence throughout this entire case had been arguing that Monzo should be fighting for diminished responsibility, that the cannabis had such an effect on his brain that he wasn't able to comprehend what he was doing. He remembered the events that led up to the attack, but didn't remember anything that unfolded over the course of just 20 minutes. And jurors were told about this cannabis that he had taken, the schizophrenic-like symptoms that he'd been experiencing. And whilst the defence tried to use this argument of diminished responsibility, the prosecution in this case argued that it did not matter. Prosecution did not apply because he was in this psychotic state because of the cannabis that he himself had decided to take. But as I say, at the centre of all of this is a 14-year-old schoolboy who lost his life, and also the trauma that this has left for numerous other people. That on the 30th of April last year, we now have that verdict, and I just want to read them all out to you. Marcus Monzo, 37 years old, from the Hainault area of northeast London, has been found guilty of the murder of Daniel Angerin. He's been found guilty of the attempted murder of Donato Iwule, who was that pedestrian he knocked over, Cindy Arias, Henry de los Rios Polania, the couple who had been inside that bedroom, which he burst into, and PC Yasmin Margaret Metcham Whitfield, who we understood from the prosecution very nearly died in this incident. He's also been found guilty, Monzo, of wounding with intent. Inspector Molloy Campbell also found guilty of aggravated burglary and possessing a bladed article.